caught my wife cheating on me with my friend, then showed attitude believing she will receive 60% of my income as alimony and child support, and quit her job. So I ruined her life. Now she has no family who cut ties with her, lost custody of our daughter, is exposed as a cheater all over town, and is in $50K debt with no job. So to start me, M26 and my wife F28 were happily married for 6 years, and I was the only one making decent money, 120,000-200,000, while she was a stay-at-home parent with our daughter F5. One day after coming back early as my engine went out on the way to work and a friend dropped me off back at home, I caught her cheating while I was supposed to be out and our daughter was at preschool. After some yelling at my friend to get out, not the friend that dropped me off, and yelling at her, she started the crying and apologized, said it was a mistake. I calmed myself down and went with the flow. I told her I needed some time to think and left. A few days go by of her checking up on me at my mom's house, and she tells me she'll wait however long it takes for me to forgive her, and also says that we should do marriage counseling. I agree and tell her I think we can get through this. But really in my mind, I'm trying to figure out what to do next, and I'm already emotionally checked out by her. So a year goes by. But through this year, I've done a lot. Like withdrawing the money from my bank. I have 2 accounts, one for myself and one for both of us. But she still knows about my separate one. I've also downgraded our house significantly. We used to have a 3,000 square feet house, and the rent was around $300-400. But I took us down to an apartment costing $1,100-ish. And I also forced her to get a job to pay for the place counseling. Anyway, after getting all my money out, I got my mom, who has Mexican citizenship, to let me use one of her houses in Mexico as an address line to open a bank balance account. And I dump all my money in there under her name and go get a lawyer. After everything is set up, I show up back home and lay down the divorce papers in front of my wife and tell her we're done. She starts with, "I thought we were doing well," and I tell her, "We didn't cheat, you did." And I leave back home with my mom until court day comes. And every day she's visiting while trying to seduce me into coming home. But eventually the day comes. But before I go, I sell my car for what few thousand I can get and have my mom drop me off. A few things happen that really made matters a lot harder than I expected. For example, she knows that I have my own bank account separate from our joint. But I also knew she knew. So I obviously made that aware as to not get in trouble. But that introduced another problem. I made $200K a year. They knew this from my taxes. But I have only about $4K in my account from selling my car when I should have another $1 million in there. Anyway, the court pretty much demanded to know where the money went. And I told them that my girlfriend, not my wife, was an expensive girl. And that was that in terms of court. After my ex-wife doesn't believe that I have another girl since I'm always with my daughter when I'm not working, she tries to get a financial advisor. But he was going to charge around $20-50K depending on what he had to do. Now believe it or not, between paying for the apartment, our daughter, and counseling, after she cheated, I pretty much used that as a get out doing everything card. She didn't actually have enough money for one. So she took out a loan and borrowed from her parents to get one, which actually kind of scared me. But I guess he couldn't find anything, which really backfired as now she has to raise a kid and pay for her own place, vehicle, etc. On a team lead's salary, I'd assume around $22 an hour. But not all is well yet, as I was still ordered by the American court for shadowing to pay her $1,700 a month out of the $12K I make due to alimony plus child support. And she tells me that's more than enough for her to live without me, and she can quit her job. And she's right. But not really, as I tell her that I swear on my life that she wouldn't get a penny out of me. And well, she didn't. I moved to Thailand, which cost a bit more than $100K USD. But I could stay for 15 years on it, which I could probably make back in a year. Anyway, I call my ex and let her know I'm not in America anymore, and that she should really consider getting her job back. I wasn't trying to be quirky. And I know this is going to sound very hypocritical, but I didn't want my daughter to end up homeless. My ex-wife gets rightfully pissed and tells me she won't manage without me and starts begging on the phone, saying how she changed for me and all that. After that, I'm getting call after call. Most are saying they'll miss me since I won't be able to come back because I'm wanted in America for child support. But some were obviously pissed off I had abandoned my wife and child. To them, I uploaded on my Facebook the pictures of my wife with my friend that she was cheating on me with, which turns out he had a girlfriend as well, who called me asking why I didn't tell her sooner, to which I said I didn't even know she existed. That was 2 years ago. And as far as I've heard, she's doing pretty terrible and had to give up our daughter to her parents while paying them child support as they didn't even want to care for her. Her parents blame her for everything, which probably wouldn't be happening if I didn't often spend time with her dad. And after I found out my daughter was with them, which was a little over 4 months after I left her, I did start paying her mom $1,000 a week to help a bit. But I did also ask that they not tell my ex. I even get my sister to check up on them, as I really don't want my ex getting a penny. TLDR, my wife cheated on me, and I hid all my money and left my daughter and wife with nothing and $50,000 in debt. Some extras that didn't fit in. Reason I said 200,000 was because at the start of our marriage, I was making $100,000 a year after taxes. But I was investing most of that into an AITA that was increasing the money I put in by about 10% a year, which I still live off of in Thailand without working. My ex is pretty ruined in our area since I posted pictures of her and my friend she cheated with on Facebook. My daughter and I FaceTime every night before bed and screen share the new movies that come out. Comments. Wish _upon_a_star1. Fine with getting revenge on your wife, but it sounds like you just cheated yourself out of being a hands-on dad. OP. I didn't have a choice. If I stay, I lose 60% of my check for the next 3 years. Luna Sisu. Your wife cheated, and you're punishing your child. Who's really losing out here? Not that I agree with cheating, but your attitude makes me wonder what led her in that direction, because you honestly sound like a kniving manipulative dirtbag. What crumby human calculates that SHT for a year, then up and abandons their child? That is some psychopathic BS right there. Title should be, I'm a psycho that ruined my child's life. Be proud. OP. I am proud and wouldn't have done it if she didn't cheat. But it's whatever. Luna Sisu. First off, I'm not a sir. That's juvenile. It was exactly as I said. Wondering by his current actions what type of person he is that his wife would run to another man. While also stating that I don't agree with cheating. I reiterated that because I knew some woman-hating moron would come in and attempt to psychoanalyze my comment. This man led a woman to believe their marriage was salvageable for a year, while he was also having an affair and strategically setting himself up financially so that he could abandon his child. My original post was simply that the child should not be punished for her mom's actions, and he's obviously just a crap person anyway based on his behavior. Please don't make what I said something it wasn't. What he did and has done is wrong. What he did prior was likely all the same. A normal person is not this cold and calculated, which means he's always been a bad apple. It takes more than an affair to make someone take the steps he did. In honesty, I believe OP was the one having an affair, got caught, played the better game, and decided to go play house with someone else, because this is what his attitude and behavior show him for. I'd say the same if it were a woman. He's justified by himself, being a coward and master manipulator who abandons his children. OP. I never cheated. And I never dated another girl since her or dated a girl or had intimacy with another girl while with her. And I never claimed I did. Also, no cheating on somebody can easily change them. I know I am a bad person, but I did my best given my situation.